Hey guys, it's towniesimbuilds here, and we are back today in the beautiful world of Sulani. This is actually the very first time I'll be building in this world and using the island living objects, but I was super inspired. I originally started this slot as some sort of steampunk pirate ship, but I did want to make something more unique, and I did want to make better use of those island themed objects. So instead, I got a hold of those really big colorful balloons and made this a giant floating tropical airship. Now, this is also designed for our family. It's super fun and colorful, and I'm really excited to share it with you all today. Alright guys, and here we are with a full view of the lot. As promised, we are here in Sulani, and we're actually like way on the outskirts of town, way out there in the ocean. And I thought it was a perfect place for this ship. I figured this ship can do it all. It can sail through the water, it can fly high in the sky, thanks to these really cool giant fishy balloons. I thought they were really fun, and they definitely transformed my original vision for this ship. As you can see, the ship also has propellers at the bottom. They're actually fans, but I figured, if they blow fast enough, it can definitely raise the ship in the air. And there are some like columns / pylons that are keeping the ship anchored to the ground. You guys can see there is a ladder going up, so your Sims can easily go through and enter the ship that way. And then towards the back, we do have some really nice pool floaties there. And I did a little bit of terraforming with some of the objects from the Island Living pack, just to make it look like this boat does in fact belong on this lot. I really enjoyed using these curtains from Island Living, kind of pretending they're masts, like if the ship is in the air and it needs kind of like wings, if you will, to fly. So circling back, we're going to take a look at the lot in different forms of lighting. This is the nighttime view. We're circling it back to the morning, the afternoon view, and finally back to the evening with that nice, gorgeous Sulani sunset. So starting off on the first floor, we pretty much enter the bulk of the ship, so a lot of the main rooms will be here. Starting off is the mudroom area, which is pretty simple, but it is where the ladder leads up from the dock. And to the right, we do have a makeshift storage area. So I kind of figured, the family would gather a lot of their food supplies, maybe some treasures that they've picked up along the way, and put them very nicely in this little nook. We do have some gardening equipment on the side, which I'll get to in a little bit. But circling back around, we will enter the kitchen area. Now, as a quick note, everything on this lot is designed for the off-grid challenge. So if you guys really enjoy playing with that challenge, this lot is absolutely perfect for it. This kitchen does use a lot of content from cottage living, so it's pretty small, but I felt it was nice and cozy with a lot of that clutter there. And we do have the stove kind of tucked away neatly in a little corner. Going back out into the hallway, we will enter the kind of central hub, if you will, where the two ladders are located. And these ladders do in fact lead to the top deck of the ship. I thought they're pretty conveniently located. It's pretty easy to access for all Sims. And then moving forward, we enter the front of the ship, where the main living room and combined dining room are located. I had so much fun using a lot of the furniture from the Island Living pack, and I kept it very beachy. You have that nice tropical blue from the ocean, you have those nice warm yellows and oranges from the sand, and there are also some ceiling fans because we gotta keep it cool for the summer, right? Moving back out, we will check out the children's bedroom. Now, believe me when I say, you guys, I never designed for children. I never designed for families, but when I started making this boat, I thought it fit perfectly for kids, so it's full of color. We do have those nice hanging fish sculptures, almost like wind chimes. There is a nice little desk there for reading or coloring, and the children do in fact have their own bathroom. Now, I made sure in the kids' areas that there were no open candles. I figured that these little antique lamps would be a lot safer. So it's kind of a silly detail, but I did want to keep it realistic, I guess. Now, entering here, we do have a look at the master bedroom, and it does in fact continue that beachy tropical feel of the other rooms. I did make use of these bongo drums as end tables, and I also included the base game trunk scene here, kind of used as a makeshift ottoman, if you will. Now, in a nice twist of fate, this cottage living dresser here matched perfectly with these doors, so I thought it was a nice touch, a little bit more elegant, and there is another sitting area there just like the children's room as well. Moving forward, we do have a look at the master bathroom. It's definitely a lot more tricked out than the kids. We have some nice silk robes for the parents, and we do have the addition of that nice standing shower from Sulani as well. So it definitely has a lot for a nice day in the tub. Finishing off this tour is in fact the top 2 decks of the ship itself, and there are still a lot of really fun details tucked away here and there. Towards the front, we do have a sort of sunbathing area, so if your Sims want to chill out and get a nice tan, it's definitely a great place to do so. We do have the steering wheel of the ship, which is actually a debug object from Cottage Living, and it does in fact move on its own, which was a really fun little magical touch. We do see the ladders that lead up from the first floor, and I also added some nice skylights just for extra measure. Over here is a clothing line. I figured that, if we're living off-grid, we don't really have a washer and dryer, so we gotta let the clothes dry the old-fashioned way. Over here is a look at the outdoor dining space. So there is a nice grill. We even got some hot dogs already made because, Sims can't wait to use objects. And moving back over here, we're gonna take a look at the very, very top deck towards the back of the ship, just passing the giant balloon. And over here we have another lounge area that's kind of covered by this nice canopy if you want a little more shade. There's also an easel there if you want to paint and look out over the ocean. And going back down, we do have the very back of the ship, and this area features a little garden area if you want to grow your own crops. And there's also a woodworking station if you want to do some carvings or maybe sell some sculptures. This last room is the final area of the ship and serves as a little entertainment room. So there is an area to play chess, there is a guitar there to play music, there is a window that clipped through thanks to Move Objects On. But beside that, we do have a nice little bar area there as well, so it's a really nice cozy place to spend time with the family or entertain. So looking at the lot specs as a whole, this lot is in fact a 30 by 20 lot. So again, it's pretty small, pretty lightweight. It can definitely fit a lot of areas of Sulani or other lots in other worlds if you like. The current lot type is set to residential. It's definitely a great lot for a smaller family, or maybe if you have a group of friends or roommates who want to live out in the ocean in this magical lot, it's definitely a great place to do so. In terms of packs, we obviously use base game, but technically we only use 2 paid packs. We have a lot of content from Island Living, and also a lot of content from the Cottage Living pack as well. The third pack is of course the Holiday Celebration pack, but like I always say, this pack is free, so you don't really have to worry about buying it. Alright guys, and that is a wrap on the floating tropical airship of Sulani. As always, I love hearing all of your thoughts and feedback on these lots. And if you guys do enjoy builds that are made for the off-grid challenge, or maybe you enjoy crazy fantastical builds like this, either way, definitely let me know in the comments. I really enjoy all of your input and requests and definitely incorporate them in all of my builds. So with that, this has been towniesimbuilds signing off. Thanks again for watching, guys.